Alright, we're doing a Cartesian plane in lesson number 8. We have a lot of vocabulary to work through and some concepts, so I'm going to work you through those concepts first and the vocabulary, but this is Cartesian plane lesson number 8. I'm going to flip this over and just basically just look at what we would call the Cartesian plane. The Cartesian plane is just another way of thinking about the XY axis. Um, and I'm going to write some terms and ideas down on here so that you have an idea of kind of what I'm going for. And I would also suggest that maybe you jot these down on a piece of paper someplace so you have an idea what's going on. All right, so we have two axes. We have an x-axis and we have a y-axis. So we're going to call this guy the x-axis. And we're going to call this guy the y-axis. All right, so we have the y-axis and we have the x-axis. Where they cross in the middle has a name, and it's called the origin. Now, we can either move to the right, we can go to the right of the origin on the x-axis, or we can go to the left of the origin on the x-axis. So we can either be over here, or we can be over here. If we're to the right of it, we consider that positive. So that would be to the positive, that would be the positive side of the x-axis. If we're over here, that would be considered the negative side of the x-axis. If we're above the origin on the y-axis, we consider that positive. And if we're below the origin, we consider that negative. The x-axis and y-axis go by different names. Most of the time, we use x-axis and y-axis to refer to them. But sometimes you're going to see the x-axis referred to as the abscissa, and you're going to see the y-axis referred to as the ordinate. Those are just throwing those out there so you at least are aware of those. So let's do a quick review. We've got the origin in the middle, x-axis, y-axis. If we go to the right on the x-axis, we move positive. If we go to the left, we're negative. If we go up on the y-axis, that's positive. And if we go down, that's negative. The next thing we're going to give you is something called an ordered pair. An ordered pair is given that name for a very specific reason. A pair means there's two things, so one thing here and one thing here, two numbers basically, and ordered in the fact that there is an order to them, and it's always alphabetical. So the first one's going to be X, and the second one's always Y. It would never go Y then X, because X comes before the Y in the alphabet. So it's always X then Y. So it's a pair. There's two of them, and there's an order to them. So if I said, if I gave you an ordered pair that might look like, let's see if I can avoid, ordered pair called A, and we say it's 5, 2, and we want to graph 5, 2, then I'm going to plot those out on my Cartesian plane. So the 5 is the x. I'll write x above here and the y. So it means we're going to go positive 5 in the x direction. So here's the x-axis. I'm going to go 5 in the x direction. And I always start at the origin. So I'm going to start here. You can think of this as like a plane. You're always going to move left and right before you go up and down. So when a plane takes off, we're not talking about a helicopter. We're talking about a normal plane. When a plane takes off, he has to go sideways first and then go up. Sideways first and then go up. Or sideways and then go down. That would be a little weird for a plane, but you get the idea. You have to go sideways before you go up and down. So let's go sideways 5. It's positive, so I'm going to go in the right direction. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Leave my pencil there, my pen. And then I'm going to go up 2. Positive 2. And there it is. And I'll label that as A. I'll do another one. Let's do negative 3, comma, negative 1. Let's go back to the origin, start at the origin. Negative 3 means negative in the x direction. So I'm going to go negative x, so negative 3, 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to go negative 1 in the y direction. Here's the negative in the y direction, so I'm going to go down 1, And there it is. And there's B. Let's do two more. Let's do C. Let's go 0, comma 6. The 0 is in the X, so I'm not going to move up, or I'm not going to move left or right. I'm going to go 0, so I'll stay here. And then 6 means up. I'm going to go up 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And there's your C. Let's do one more. There's letter D. Let's go -2, comma 0. So -2 is to the left. 0 means I'm not going up or down, so I'll stay right there, and that will be letter D. A few other things. The origin. What are the ordered pair? What's the ordered pair for the origin? Well, that would be 0, 0. 0, 0 is going to be right in the middle. So if you see 0, 0, you can think of the origin. All right, a couple other things. We have 4 regions on our Cartesian plane, 4 regions, and we call those regions quadrants. And this region up here would be called quadrant 1. We use Roman numerals to describe that. So quadrant 1, I'll just do Q. Here's quadrant 2, so this is all quadrant 2. Quadrant 3 is down here. And then quadrant 4, Roman numerals, is down there. So there is the Cartesian plane. Now, I'm going to flip this over and zoom in, and we're going to go the other way. We're going to find the ordered pairs for each of these points that I have up here. So we're going to find the ordered pair for A. So remember that I always start at the origin, and I go left and right first. So I'm going to go to the right 1, and then up 1. So that'll be 1, comma 1. Let's do letter B. To get to letter B, I go left 2. Left is negative. And then I go up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's find letter C. Letter C is down here. To get to C, I'm going to go to the right 3. And down 3. Let's look for D. Here's D. D, I'm going to go to the right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go to the right 5. And then I'm not going to go up and down, so that'll be 0. So 5, comma 0. Here's E down here. Let's see if I can squeeze E's ordered pairs right here. I'm not going to go sideways, so it'll be 0. But I will go down 2. B, C, D, E. Here's F. We'll put F right here. To get to F, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 and to the left, so that'll be a -4. I'm going to go down 3. So that'll be -3. And the last one is G, way out here. So G, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. To the left, 6. Remember, I always go left and right first, and then up and down. And then I'm going to go up 1. And there's 1 right there. And there's graphing, or plotting, or coming up with the ordered pairs to a bunch of individual points. Alright, I'm just looking through lesson number 8, and it looks like I'll do a couple with you. I want to do number 27 with you. 27 looks pretty tough, and I'll do 29. So I'm going to do 27 and 29. I'm going to find a piece of paper and do those with you real quick. So here's number 27. -10. Got a brace, and then a parenthesis, and then let's do a 4 here. equals the brace plus 10. Alright, we're going to start inside first. So we're going to add the 3 and 1 and bring everything else down. So we got 4 here. Bring down the parenthesis, bring down that 4, bring down the braces, bring down the 10, bring down the braces. That's a horrible looking one. And then there. Okay, now I'm done with this one. There's nothing else I can do inside there, so I'm just going to go to the next one. So that means I'm going to multiply the 4 and 4 together. That's 16. Bring down the 10. Look at that one. That one's better. Remember, when I have a negative sitting on the outside, that really turns this into a minus 16. So it's negative 10 minus 16 plus 10. Let's do these two next. Signs are the same, so I add them together. 26. Keep the sign of that larger number. 16 is bigger than 10, so we'll keep the negative. Bring down the 10. Now they're different, negative and positive. Now they're different, so I'll subtract, so that'll be 16. And keep the sign of the bigger number. 26 is bigger than 10, so I'll keep the negative. And there's your answer. Let's do 29. My pencil's not working real well here. 29. Let's do 2x minus negative 8 plus y. And we'll say x is equal to 6. And let's say y is equal to negative 4. Woo. Give you a moment to copy that down. Okay, first thing to do is substitute. So I'm going to take the 6 and plug it in here. And when I substitute, I have to use parentheses. So this parenthesis and that parenthesis are both important. I'm going to start in the innermost parentheses. This is my innermost. Can't do anything there. There's only one number, so I'll go to the next one, the next biggest, and that's right here. So I got 2 times 6 minus. Alright, now my signs are different. I'm sorry, my signs are the same, so I'm going to add those numbers together. So 8 and 4 is 12. I'm going to keep the sign of the larger number. Now I can multiply here and do 2 negatives. So I'll do it in 2 steps. So 2 negatives give you a positive. I'm about ready to throw this pencil out. And then multiply before we add. So that's 12. Bring down this 12. And then we get 24. There it is. Good luck on lesson number 8.